Namaste. Welcome. Monday night with
Where
Mr.
are
Roachee.
you?
I have no idea. You know, a lot on my mind. We're putting something positive in your Monday. And I'm Master Roachee and Caitlin the Talent. Say hello, Caitlin.
Hey, Sam. What's up, guys?
Again, we have another amazing show for you set up tonight. I am just really, really tickled. You know, a lot of people say, you know, I am willing to fight for my rights, or I'm willing to fight for cannabis.
Right.
But rarely has anybody fought like our guest. He went up against the Canadian government and the Canadian Supreme Court and won. And he is the reason why concentrates are legal in Canada. So, and you know what? That's just what he did a few years ago. You should see what he's doing now. Owen Smith is a great guy, and we're going to have him on in just a minute. So, hey, stay tuned. We also have some great music from Roots of Creation. They are celebrating the 5th year of Grateful Dub, and it is kind of a reggae take on the Grateful Dead. So we're going to be hearing some of Roots of Creation coming up in just a few minutes. So, all right. Well, we're going to give Caitlin just a second, and once she's done fiddling,
I forgot about this.
We'll get Owen on here because I can't see anything right now as far as comments. So, Caitlin, what have you been doing? You came in right at 7 o'clock.
I was getting stuff for CannaFest.
What kind of stuff?
Clothes and stuff for CannaFest.
What kind of stuff?
I'm gonna bring Owen up that way. We can go clothes and stuff.
All right.
Surprises.
Well, bring Owen up, and ladies and gentlemen, you know we only have beautiful people. Owen is a beautiful, beautiful person. Our northern neighbor. So be kind and show him a lot of love.
Oh, no.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Namaste. Thank you for coming on, Owen. How are you this evening, my friend?
Master Roachee and Kate. I am very well. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Coming to you from Vancouver Island in British Columbia.
Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous area up there. Is that the same area Chris Bennett's in? Do you know Chris?
I do. Yeah, I love Chris. He's fantastic. He's a
Right.
real inspiration.
Right on. I think I've read pretty much everything he's put out. Wonderful, wonderful writer.
Well, he's put out a lot of good stuff.
Yes, he has, except for the new one. I don't have it yet, so I'm working on it. Well, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience? I gave you just a very simple introduction, but why don't you start with getting concentrates legal in Canada?
Absolutely. Well, I gave myself the tagline "Cookie Crusader," as I was making cookies and massage oils and capsules and lozenges and all the things that you might expect to get at your medical cannabis dispensary. This was back in 2009, so been doing it for quite a while. But back then I was arrested. I was in a small apartment on a December early in the morning. It was very cold, and our incense had run out, and our air scrubber, it had also stopped working. I want to keep the window closed, and so the smell went out into the apartment building, and one of the neighbors told the building manager, and the building manager called the police, and they came and knocked. And I was in the daytime while I was doing my baking, I would listen to music. I love
Right.
music. I love music. I used to be a DJ, and
Cool.
so in the evening I would practice. I'd record myself DJing, and then I'd listen to it during the day. So I'd get lots of energy and produce lots of wonderful edibles and other products. But it has a bit of a beat to it too. So there was also had been a noise complaint that had combined with the smell complaint. And so,
Oh, right.
and so, and
So
so
you had some neighbors not real happy with you.
the neighbors weren't happy at that moment. But the the police had come into the apartment, and as we were always very transparent about what we're doing, I told them, this is a medical cannabis bakery, and it turned out that the lead officer was well known to the dispensary that I worked at, and his um, grandparents, his family in India, they eat cannabis as part of their traditional ceremony or traditional once a year, I think called Holy Fest.
Right. Right.
So he had shared with us at one time this recipe for cannabis pakoras. And so this was the first officer who came in. The third officer who came in was a member of Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, which is
Oh,
another interesting group. And
right.
he had come and spoke at one of our recent conventions at the University of Victoria, and he was one of our lead speakers. And then he was the third person to arrive, and I got the sense that very much, even though I'm breaking the law,
Right.
most of the police department they're already on our side at this point. So he was trying to find out, is there any weed in the cookies? Because we didn't have any weed necessarily stored there, only oils and like melting jars of butter on the stove, and other cookies laid out on cooling racks. But you couldn't see any weed, and so he needed to try to find out if there was any by asking me some questions. So he'd ask, if I ate that cookie right now, how would it make me all woozy and feel all funny, and would I get dizzy and happy and all of this sort of stuff? And I saw it was my opportunity really to lay into him, because
Right.
it's they're doing their job, they're not going to stop, but it's an awful thing that they're doing, and they need to know, they need to be transfer the feeling that the patients are going to have later on that day when they don't get their medicine. You're gonna have to let these people know consequences of their life choices. And so I get to say, this is, I can't tell you what it'll do to you, because it's not for you. Those are for medical patients, and the person who eats that may help them to stop seizing, or it may help them so they can eat dinner tonight, or be in pain enough, pain relief enough to be able to sleep, and these sorts of things. Just lay into them that
Right.
really helping people, even though that we're being respectful about it in a certain way. We have to break the law. So it was getting arrested was a really interesting experience as an activist and a cannabis lover. You really get to tell somebody exactly how you feel, and do it in such a way that they have to listen to you. Not in, I wouldn't be particularly emotional about it. Pretty dry,
Right.
really, but just delivering them the heavy. This is what your karma is now because of what you've done. Just so you know, and
Exactly. So I mean, it sounded like two of the cops there were pretty cool. I mean, so how did how did this all work out? It seemed like they should have just said, okay, thanks, and left you alone.
Well, there was a bud. I was a little bit stoned because it was just after lunch, and I had smoked a joint at lunch, and I'd left a bud with some scissors on the counter. So when they saw that, they had this. Oh yes, there you are. That's the connection.
Right.
So my original charges were trafficking THC and also possession of cannabis, dried cannabis. And so one of the problems they had in the law that we addressed by challenging it was that they would divide cannabis into all of its separate parts, and then they would charge you differently and have different arguments for each part.
Right.
One thing that we would bring was just the knowledge that all of these parts are one. They're all connected to the plant. They're all one thing. You can't divide them up for the purpose of prosecution to keep people confused. So,
Oh, hey, namaste, Kim, Christopher. Who else do we have here? Horsefeather. Um, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. So, how did this escalate to the Supreme Court?
well, we had 4 weeks in the British Columbia Supreme Court, which we got all the patients and the expert witness we brought up from California, Dr. David Pate. He's been working in cannabis for many decades, lots of studies. Health Canada sent their expert, their chief science officer, and we basically had the lawyers go at it. The patients were amazing, telling their stories. At one point, the court clerk broke down crying because of
Wow.
the impact that the hearing the stories, and it was intense. It's intense to hear. I mean, I've been writing a book about it all and just going through it again and writing these stories out, and it's just amazing to think some of the challenges that people go through their health and through no
Yes.
fault of their own. Um, yeah, so we had that 4 weeks where we ended up making our point. The key to the whole thing is the trichomes. What we used analogy that it's like a golf ball on a tee. Like to
Right.
give an analogy that the judge would understand. And the golf ball, it's not meant to stay on the tee. If the wind blows or something knocks it, and it's destined for something else. The plant created it in the fashion that it does, so that it dangles at the end of these stems and is easily separated from the rest of the plant. It's almost as if it's just making it easier for us to make a nice clean hash. So
Right.
we don't have all of the plant matter that is mixed into it. And at the time in Canada, all you were allowed to do here was have dried cannabis. And so
Okay.
our argument was that you're forcing patients to smoke, essentially, and
Right. Right.
when they should be using a medicine like they use other medicines. You're going to eat the medicine, you're going to put it on your skin or apply it to the area that it could be most effective. These are just basic principles of medicine. And cannabis is fantastic. Short, if you're inhaling, it's a short amount of time that you have to wait. Inhaling certainly has its place. But for chronic pain and for people with cancer and dealing with this all the time, having a systemic load of cannabinoids, a certain amount that you'd be keeping in your bloodstream at all times, is most helpful. And edible certainly do that.
Right, edibles and also sublinguals oils are a great way to administrate that also. So wonderful.
Yeah, in the Supreme Court of Canada, we were joined by all of these other interested parties, like the Canadian AIDS Society, the Civil Liberties Society, other cannabis cases, like the case of Liam and Mandy McKnight, who Liam has intractable epilepsy, kind of Dravet syndrome, it's called, and
Wow.
is really dangerous. Like hundreds of seizures a day, and you don't live beyond a certain age.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't even know about this stuff when I got arrested. I mean, Liam was just being born at that time too. But he's just had his 15th birthday. I think maybe even is today. There was a
Oh,
beautiful post of this young man who is 15 years old and he's doing puzzles and he's playing because of cannabis. And he's had edible oil, and his mum's been giving it to him since he was little. And him and some of the other parents who I know who um, came out during my court case and were very bold to go on the news and be very public about their cannabis production and in their, making oil for their kids, and went on to work with some of the legal producers because after my case, it was forced to be made legal. They they declared the prohibition of no force and effect, which meant everything was legal until they brought in a new law. So there was about 2 months. So everybody before me, everyone during my trial who had a similar charges had those dropped.
nice.
And then, yeah, people after this have used my case to extend the rulings or the remedies that the government did bring in. In new laws, but they made them highly restrictive. I don't know what it's like in Indiana, but in Canada, you're only allowed 10 milligrams.
We
10 milligrams.
we are yeah, we are still a total prohibition state. We do not have medical. We do not have recreational. We are living in the 1980s, baby.
Nothing. We get nothing.
Law.
Nothing.
So yes, we are broadcasting from the bunker, secretly toking, so the Indiana Secret Police will not haul us away.
The Indiana Secret Police.
So, yeah, we're a very unlucky group, and I was asked, well, why don't you move, to a legal state? I'd rather stay here and fight for what everybody's rights are
Mhm.
here in Indiana than to move and make it easier on myself.
I love that. You'll get it.
Oh, are we having problems with audio?
Yeah, I think it's on his end though.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
You're kind of staticky.
Let's. I'm going to ask our viewers. How's Owen's audio? Kim?
How's my audio now?
It's still. You kind of sound like a robot.
Okay.
Is that any better?
That's better.
Yes, better.
Better.
All right.
So one of the things that really jumped out at me on your LinkedIn profile was your tulip. And could you explain the tulip, because I know this is something our viewers are going to love.
Well, I love innovation and new products, and I'm not sure if you've had them in Indiana, you might have seen moon rocks.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes.
So you got moon rocks, you got a bud, right? And then it's like rolled in oil and then rolled in keef.
Right.
It's kind of like that. I was thinking you could call them golden comets. Was another idea I had before. I thought, well, is these these are very high-end product. These are very special product,
Oh yes.
and you want to deliver it. You could deliver them in a really nice packaging, which is what brought the tulips part to it. Having a very handmade package that you could give to somebody is very cute. But then also you got a gram of extract. Well, what I was thinking, having a bud that is dipped in resin, that then you could break out into your pipe, or like I was thinking you could drop it into something that you would eat, like a cup of soup or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, your two, they are like works of art. I mean, they almost look like jewelry.
I agree. I feel like, and I understand through reading Chris Bennett's work, um, that there are many products, and they're sort of like cannabis in ancient times in certain areas was a very royal thing, very, very high end.
Yeah,
So to think that in our day, there may be the development of products that are just sort of lavish in that way. Um, I have a bunch of other ideas that come from Bennett's work.
right.
And why not continue to advance like creatively cannabis product lines? I mean, you guys are in a prohibition state. I'm in a country that's only had cannabis legalization for like 4 or 5 years, and
Right.
I guess one of the biggest in the world, only ones that have done it. And so there's just an incredible amount we don't know. The shadow of prohibition for 100 years. Um, you know, there's no way we can remember that far. None of us. It's a lot has been lost. The genetics have been lost. It's going to take time to bring back, but also the development of products could tap into that ancient, but it also could be very new. And I was like the tulips. I have tulips here, a little garden of them. There, it's
Ah,
the gift of a flower within a flower was sort of the idea.
Um, Kim said, "Show us, or it's not real."
Well, there's pictures. There's pictures on my LinkedIn, so I don't know if you guys can.
yeah. Do you have do you have them on a Facebook profile?
I have a Facebook profile.
Right. So it'll probably be easier to get folks over to your Facebook profile. Honestly.
Sure thing. Yeah, you can check out my Facebook profile too. It's just Owen Smith with a picture of a green ninja, a weed ninja with swords.
Right.
That's
Yeah, and they can check you out. You should be on my. I believe you're on my friends list. Yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, what a part of this is, I mean, I have to admit to you guys, there is a part of this is awfully sneaky, because I use a lot of the new AI generative stuff. So
Right.
I created this product out of my imagination. Essentially, really just got super stoned. Well, just about every day. There's a point in the day where I could probably come up with a new cannabis product, because I just have so much knowledge about this just jammed in there. It just all comes wording out, and it's like, let's do crowns for weddings.
Ooh.
Up here, a lot of people are talking about tourism and having your like cannabis farm and like a food farm and
Yeah.
a stage, and people come and they host weddings there, and it's really lovely. Well, historically, there are certain products which go with weddings, and one of them from ancient Egypt is the hash crown. I don't know if you've heard of this one.
Yes, I have.
So you have the crown on your head, and you have a little puck that sits on top. And the
Uh-huh.
crown prevents the oil in the puck from dribbling down the sides of your face. and it keeps it on your head to soak into your scalp.
Right. Right.
And that way you get way more effect. And it just blows my mind to think about this cultural artifact of the crown.
Yes.
Something which is only considered to be, very strictly for one person or something. Yet there's another way of looking at it entirely, in that we all have access to a sort of divine, a sort of holy nature divine that you can get with cannabis, a psychedelic effect.
Right.
We all have this personal access that we could get by simply wearing our own crowns as a function of consuming pucks of cannabis hash with our body heat through our head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see it being a thing.
I could. Yeah, that's just one of the many interesting ways of the way that they used to consume. And people don't, people think that cannabis consumption recreationally just came around in the 70s or the 50s. They don't understand that people have been consuming recreationally and for religious reasons for 6, 7,000, 8,000 years. I mean, uh, it helps us not only get our bodies in tune through our endocannabinoid system, but it helps get our mind in tune with the universe. It opens up channels that without it, you just can't open.
I think it's an amazing plant, both for the medicine, for the body, and for the spirit. That I had a doctor friend who, who talks about it in a certain way, because people have difficulties with cannabis and other psychedelics too, and in a way, it can kind of be scary to first-time consumers, and that, I think, in some way, is part of its benefit. It's sort of
Oh, oh, hold on, Owen, because you just brought us right into something. We're going to run a quick commercial, and then we'll get our first hashtags up for a giveaway. So if you would like to bring up that commercial for us.
Which commercial?
The stream.
Okay.
Because, this program is brought to you by Master Roachee's Garden, masterroachesgarden.com. Check us out. You can find our fine blend of CBD oils and, of course, our fine and world famous beard oils.
Made by Mama Roachee.
Made by Mama Roachee. Small handcrafted beard oil. So, all right.
Nope. Now.
Oh, and that was, some cheap, self-serving promotion, but you got to have it. Well, Caitlin, what would you like to use for our first hashtag tonight?
I got it.
You got it.
I got it. No, not that one. That one.
Oh, all right. We're going to Owen Smith hashtag because, well, I'm not going to tell you what you're going to win until we spin the wheel. So, but tonight I will tell you that we will be giving away a Grow Fam box at some point in the night. And also, if we hit 50 hashtags tonight, we will be including to whoever wins that particular drawing a bottle of Euphoria Eats infused sauces. That's 2 barbecue sauces, or a barbecue sauce, a glaze, and a hot sauce from Pierre Davis of Euphoria Eats. So
if we hit 50 hashtags,
50 hashtags,
50
hashtags minimum, and we will be including whatever we're giving away, the barbecue sauce and hot sauce also.
If we hit 50 hashtags.
if we hit 50 hashtags. Oh, and yes, you were saying about cannabis and psychedelics. Uh, some of the novice interpretation about entering into, and trying it out, because they've heard so many horror stories. It's going to affect your genes, it's going to melt your brain, it's going to make you stupid. You're going to go into a mental facility if you eat a mushroom. uh, and that causes a lot of anxiety for first time explorers.
Personally,
Yeah.
I went into a mental facility before I ate a mushroom.
Well, that's true, but you're
Yeah.
there.
I mean, because we're on the edge of that whole psychedelic world with cannabis, edibles is where it kind of gets even more intense. Um, for me, and also in that was that New York Times reporter had the same experience as me, which was you think you're dead, or it's kind of a classic one. There's even the story of the police officer and his wife who eat the brownies and then they get so high they think they're dead. There's wonderful
Right.
animation about this, and they call and they get the police to come and arrest them because they think they're dead, and his wife is crawling on the ceiling or flying around the room or something. The New York Times reporter had this of you think you're dead, and it can be a harrowing experience thinking you're dead, but actually not dying.
Right.
It is the best. I mean, the fact that it can draw you into a state of mind where you can yearn and long for life, or bring you back to that, can be it can be really valuable.
Right. It can be rejuvenating. It can open up all new possibilities in your mind. Yes.
I like rejuvenating. That's a good descriptor for it.
I like to think it helps me. Like it in a way, if I was gonna die, um, I would think back on my life and I'd think, what would I really wanted to do, or what would I really want to do right now? It gives you that perspective to kind of wake you up a little bit and be like, you're definitely gonna die, that's for sure. But
Right.
what you do in your life, that's not for sure. So get to it, in a certain sense.
You are so exactly right. You know, I don't want to look back and have any, wish I would have, or only if I could have. No. And freeing yourself and allowing yourself that kind of dynamic, because time is your most valuable commodity. It's not money. It's time. How you spend it. Uh, is it, you know, are you getting good value? Are you doing something, or are you just wasting it? But I agree, my friend. I agree wholeheartedly.
Well, if it's not you that's dying, which it can't always be you, sometimes it was my most dear loved ones. So I convinced myself there was no way I couldn't know that they weren't dead. So there's every possibility that they could be dead, and so I had to process this is what the edibles stuck me to. My cat, who I love very much, the edibles said, well, she could be dead, and so like, oh, okay. I really love my cat a lot, and I really appreciate every moment I've had with my cat. And if this is the case, then I'm just, we're going to go forward, but I'm never going to forget how great that cat is, and like all this sort of stuff. And then the cat comes in. I'm like, oh, there you are. So great to see you.
Right.
Amplified. And the same thing for like my parents. I might not have thought about my parents for a long time in my 20s, but then the edibles sort of woke me up a bit to like, they're going to die soon. You may never not get to see them again. So do your best to build a relationship, and it's this sort of thing. It's been helpful from the edibles, but the experiences themselves were sort of anxious ones and a little bit uncomfortable when it's like, okay, got the message. And
But if growth is uncomfortable, recognizing and opening yourself up, it is uncomfortable. It's not easy, but you have to have that if you want to grow, if you want to expand. It's part of it, and if you hide from it, you'll never grow.
Right. I can relate to the cat thing though. There have been times where I was like, I wonder where Mitmit's at. Wonder what she's doing. And then she, like he said, came into the room and I was like, I thanked Mitmit. I was like, thank you. Oh my God, Mitmit, you're not dead.
Yeah. But I have the other experience with Bubba and my child.
I mean, I've had similar experiences as well.
But yes, the three of us share this bond about liking to get really high and cuddling with our cats.
Yes.
All of us are huge cat fans here. So yes, I think that is one of the greatest things in life.
There's nothing better than being high with a blanket of kitties on you.
I agree.
I've got a 3-cat minimum.
A 3-cat minimum.
Yeah.
That sounds like you.
Yeah. That makes a nice cozy blanket. 3 cats do.
I guess so. Do you have any questions for Owen? Because I feel like I'm.
Can I see your cat?
She's not going to be happy if I pick her up. She's in a sleeping pose.
Well then no,
yes.
Don't pick her up. Don't disturb her.
Don't disturb a sleeping cat. That's
no. That's unforgivable.
Yes, you'll have miserable luck for 24 hours at least if you disturb a sleeping cat.
Just describe her to me then.
She's black. She's
right
on. Black kitty.
So yes, my Nero, who is usually sitting over here, he's black, and just he's kind of become my new snuggle buddy.
She's like a baby bear.
Oh,
she's a big girl, but very very small bear.
Very small bear. So do you only have one
Hi, John.
cat?
I only have one cat. Yes. Yes.
I have the most cats in this room.
Tamika, Kim,
Toshmika.
Joe.
And Toshmika likes to go by Tosh.
Tosh, namaste all. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're with Owen Smith, and I think you're going to dig the conversation.
He has 4 cats. I have 8 cats.
That's a lot of cats.
That's what I'm saying. Blankets of kitties, buddy.
All we have to do is get her a rundown house at the end of a dead-end street, and she's all set for her crazy Catwoman stage.
The life goal is to own a free-range cat rescue. That's going to be like the ultimate life goal.
Free-range cat rescue.
Yes. Like out in the woods somewhere. I just go into the inner cities and rescue all the cats and bring them out to my house.
There's some wonderful organizations that help rescue cats out here on Vancouver Island. I had rescued a cat right before the winter, and they paid for it to have dental and get all sort of shots and everything. And it's a wonderful service. I think it would be awesome for you to do that.
Oh, that would be great.
See?
Yeah.
It's the eventual life goal though right now, because 8 cats is a lot. And I don't want to get my babies confused with the saved babies, even though they'd all be my babies after I saved them all. But cats, they just have so many, and I speak from owning 8 cats. They just all have so many different personalities, and not all the time do those personalities go together. No,
they're, and I'm sure Owen knows too that, a cat's like dealing with a 3-year-old. They can get into all kinds of stuff. They are, strong-willed. Yeah. So, how are we gonna spin the wheel?
Are you ready for the spinning of the wheel?
Ready for the spinning of the wheel.
Okay, here we go.
And you see, I love it because nobody knows what they're spinning for. They are just, and you know what? I love it. I love it.
Chris Trailer.
Chris Trailer. Chris Trailer, congratulations. Because, now I don't know if you've won this before, but you are going to get our, actually mine's a mess here, original rolling tray. Yes, our original rolling tray, Master Roachee's Garden original rolling tray. 2 packs of our limited edition, no longer available, never to be seen again, papers, and a Bowl Buddy. If you watched last Monday, we had Greg on, and this is a wonderful snuffing device that you put right over your bowl. You don't have to pack it down. No more burnt fingers, melted lighters. Just keep it on there for a moment, and it puts it right out, so your flour's not smoldering away either. So you will be getting a Bowl Buddy and an original rolling tray and 2 packs of papers coming your way.
If he shows up in the comments, I haven't. Oh, there he is. Never mind.
I was going to say, I know Chris is here.
And then also, I would like to say a very special welcome to Tony Ashkettle. Welcome. Welcome. He said he's new here, or she. I can't see your profile picture.
Tony, namaste. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Welcome. Welcome.
I'm happy you're here. You're happy you're here. But you never know about Caitlin.
Oh, he said he's a dude. What's up, my dude? And then Kim McNulty said there's no cats in Uranus.
I think Uranus is a gas giant.
She said there's no cats in it.
Well, Kim would know. I guess. I'm not sure. Would Kim be a cats in the Uranus expert?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's something that we're going to have to discuss further.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
There must be a deeper discussion on this.
There must be something deeper. Tell you what, how about taking a quick music break?
Sure.
If you guys aren't familiar with this band, Roots of Creation, you're gonna dig them. Brett is from Sublime. They have a reggae sound, but anyway, I'm gonna let the music speak for itself. And especially if you're a Dead fan, we're gonna be playing Ripple, Roots of the Creation style.
That was not me. and there is a road. No simple highway between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water, where there is no pebble toss, no wind to blow. You choose to leave must follow. But if you fall, may you fall alone. And if you stay, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home.
Unmute.
Welcome back, and that was Roots of Creation and their take on one of my favorite Dead songs, "Ripple." What do you think? We're sorry. We understand that a lot of people are having trouble finding the links tonight since all the shakeup. So we apologize, and we'll all get this straightened out coming soon. But yes, so please share. We were supposed to be on the GrowFam Homestead profile also tonight, but we had some issues connecting.
Like streaming straight from the GrowFam Homestead profile.
Right. So we still have some technicalities and all that we all have to work out, but trust me, it's gonna be great. So what do you think? Are you familiar, Owen, with Roots of Creation?
No, I had never heard that. That was nice.
Cool. Yeah, check them out. They do some other stuff, but we're kind of celebrating the 5-year anniversary of the album Grateful Dove. That's why we were kind of playing the dead music. So yeah, I just dig them. I've been fans for years, and hopefully I can convince Brett and maybe more of them to come on the show here. If I keep pestering enough, I think they're going to finally give in. So maybe. Hi, Ricky. Namaste.
Howdy, howdy, howdy,
Namaste.
howdy, howdy, howdy.
Ah, and it looks like we have Grow Fam Homestead on. Namaste, namaste, Ash. Thank you for tuning in. So, what do you have in that? Oh, look at that.
Can we see it?
Oh, now, isn't that a lollipop?
This is a pretty nice bud. This one. This is the blue goo.
Blue goo. How do you come up with a strain called blue goo? What's the parentage on that?
I go to a dispensary and I ask them what's good, and they say the blue goo today, and that keeps it simple for me.
I love it.
I don't know. Probably has a little blueberry, that blueberry note on it. So I expect it's probably the blueberry mixed with something that's very resin producing, the goo, something that's a high resin producer. Yeah. But I really liked it, so I got quite a bit. My local medical dispensary here is a bit of a phenomena. It's the only one in Canada now since legalization. They're all
Really?
that used to be open up here. They all had to shut, and lots of them tried to go legal, and many of them are struggling now to survive in the legal market because of the taxes and all the stuff the government's putting on it. My friends here, they've stayed open to serve the medical patients, specifically to help with the high dose edibles. Because as I mentioned earlier, you can only get 10 milligrams per serve up here. And people need higher doses than that for especially their high, extreme medical conditions. The more extreme, sometimes that's the bigger doses. And those are the people we need to think about and care about. It's who we always cared about that before legalization. But since legalization, with everybody going above board, there's been less talk about all of the good that cannabis can do, and more about the struggles that businesses are having surviving the government regulations. So it's a bit of a lesson up here, I think. We're one of the first countries to do it, and I think we've made mistakes, and there may be opportunity for other countries around the world to jump ahead and do things a little bit more sensibly. I know some of the states have higher thresholds for edibles and rules that include consumption sites, like Las Vegas recently, and getting the full suite of cannabis culture options available is something which is going to take time. And up here, we're still sort of working on it in the trenches a bit. My friends at this shop were raided a couple of weeks ago and had all their stuff seized. All the medicine was taken, and we made a big fuss about it in the news. But really, it's just kind of like more government heavy-handedness coming in to stop people from accessing what is a necessity for their health. And over and over again, when it gets to the courts, the medical necessity rules supreme. But it's a really difficult time right now because getting raided and waiting to go to court and all of this stuff. Still lots of people to take care of. So yeah, it's interesting. The movement forward is sometimes a shuffle with back and forward, right?
Now, do you think that the government's ever really going to be able to regulate cannabis? Because once it gets out and everybody starts growing and there's going to be all these strains available, really, do we need commercial ventures?
Well, it's a lovely plant to grow.
Right.
I personally think that the goal for everyone would be to have your own little garden of Eden, your
Right.
own access to that magical plant. You do not have to rent and do any sort of anything funny about it. You have your own plant.
Right.
It's very nice to grow. It's very nice to be around. Can actually teach you about life a little bit, even just by giving you the opportunity to have a beautiful life like it is, grow alongside you. I know many people who struggled as gardeners in their adult lives, um, who have found cannabis to be sort of an inspiration to them, that they actually, they could get good results from looking after plants. It's just such a glorious plant.
And it also gets you in touch with the earth, and there's so many things that next hashtag uh, that it does, that a holistic effect. It gets you, especially if you're able to grow outside. It gets you outside. It reconnects you with nature. Puts you in a different mindset. Boosts that dopamine and serotonin pickup. All right, here's our next hashtag: plants, not pills. Plants, not pills.
It's on my shirt.
Ah, it's on her shirt.
It's on my shirt.
Right there.
You guys can't see it.
Right there.
You guys can't
Right
see
on
it.
Caitlin's shirt. So jump on here, and I'll tell you what. This time I am going to tell them what they're getting into.
Where?
All right. This next drawing will be for the Grow Fam box.
No. Because you have to do hashtag GrowFam for life.
Oh,
the GrowFam.
Oh, well, shoot. It's going to be for beard oil. You're going to have to stick around for one more.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So shouldn't it be Growstead for life?
Growstead for life?
Growstead for life, maybe. But yeah, some wonderful stuff that Ash has got going. It's beautiful. Actually, Ash Grows is on here, and we were supposed to be going on his channel, but he was. You were talking about a lot of the same stuff, Owen, that Ash believes in. The small micro farming and the community, and maybe setting up venues in the future. And it's beautiful. We need to rescue and cultivate our green space. We've got to do more. We can do more. We should also pat ourselves on the back. We've come a long way from the time when I was a child. So, it's not like we're not doing anything. Everybody should be proud of the effort that's been put forth, but we can always do a little bit more.
Sorry, I zoned out there for a minute. Chris Trailer said hashtag GlowFam.
Oh, there we go.
I'm real spacey today. Owen, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ash has got a product. Has he released that yet?
I don't know.
Some tea, and I should. Ash is an amazing man. Very, very smart. Very organic. You would really dig what he's got going on, and he's got some tea, wizard tea, that he has developed. And yes, Ash, we really appreciate you, my friend.
I love the sound of that.
Yes.
Give me some wizard tea.
Definitely. It comes in the growth and then the flowering. So 2 formulations. Sent me some, and I was so excited about it. But I don't grow anymore since we went with a legal business. But I do know people that do grow and forward it on, and they are having some absolute wonderful success with it.
Mom said it's for the plants.
Pardon me?
It's for the plants.
Yeah.
It's for the plants.
So what's kind of up next for you, Owen? What do you see in your future, my friend?
Well, I'm a little bit excited for 420. That's in 10 days.
Right on.
We make a big deal out of that up here. I'm not sure how it is in Indiana.
Oh, it's a
Big deal?
big thing. We're getting ready to travel to Kansas City for CanaFest for the 17th and or what is it 16th?
I don't
For,
know.
we're going to be down there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or Friday and Saturday.
I thought it was like the 5th annual.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that on my Thursday night show, which is a Thursday Night Vibes. We're going to have Dr. Hyatt CA on, and we're going to be giving away books. His new book that's coming out is Cannabis Medicine. So next week on 420 on Thursday Night Vibes, he will be our guest, and we'll be giving out his books. So
Awesome.
yeah, 420's big down here.
Yeah, we'd love to put on a big show in front of the Parliament buildings up here. It was like
Right on.
legislature for many years. We would do it in front of City Hall as well. It's just it's a holiday, really. It's sort of a staple of cannabis. We have there's a summit that is happening up here in BC on the 21st through the 23rd. So I'll probably be going to Kelowna to the BC Craft Cannabis Summit, which should feature all the best growers in the province and various we're interested in seeing. So that could be fun. They've given me some time to get on the stage, talk a little bit about some of the things I'm up to. These things include working with some First Nations up here. So Indigenous groups wanting to get into cannabis, need a little bit of guidance and help to get connected. Doing some really interesting things, getting them prepared to enter the business. So that's really fun. I just had a plastic cannabis plastic reuse grant, which was not approved, not because it was a bad idea, but because they were already full or given their money away. And that was to help collect up plastic packaging from the legal retailers, wash it and return it to producers to help reduce the impact on the landfills that the cannabis packaging is having up here. It's a bit ridiculous, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on LinkedIn and actually shared it on my Facebook profile.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
We hope that we'll be able to start that company in the future, and that will be one of the circular economy models that could be used to divert waste and actually, make it into a useful product of that waste, or simply wash it and reuse it. We have a very wasteful society in lots of areas, and unfortunately, the cannabis sector in Canada has slipped right in there. The regulations are a problem that determine that it's very difficult to make packaging which is recyclable, so it was challenges.
Yeah, that's a shame because the development of these hemp plastics would be a perfect partnering with the cannabis industry.
We're wonderful. I'd love to transition to hemp plastics, entirely. I think that was one of the initial big promises, I think, of legalization here in Canada. Some of the big companies, they were buying up hemp all over the world. And so we would be comparing the two things, helping bring hemp along with the excitement that was cannabis legalization here in Canada. Unfortunately, it sort of dropped off a bit, but there are lots of innovations happening up here, different building and fuel facilities that are being built for building materials and making pellets and things like that.
Yeah, I think that
Bring your own jar.
Bring your own jar. Which that makes sense too. Okay, so
right?
And even though Indiana is a prohibition state, the state right next to us, Illinois, is not a prohibition state. And even if you're an Indiana resident, you can drive over to Illinois and.
Well, Kentucky just went medically legal.
Yes, but not recreationally
No,
legal.
but medically legal.
But Illinois.
Ohio's medically legal.
We're in a bit of a conundrum.
Michigan is reckoned medical.
Yeah.
So you're surrounded, is that it?
Yeah, we are surrounded in green.
That's not where my story was going.
Well, go ahead. Where's your story going?
Well, even down here, the packaging is a problem. Like, I've went over to Illinois and purchased some supplies, and one of the times it came in plastic packaging, and one of the times it came in a glass jar. And like, when you buy something that's in a glass jar, I don't know how you feel about this, but like, when I buy something that's in a glass jar, I don't want to throw the glass jar away. I want to reuse the glass jar.
Yeah, I think that's a great example. That you can even, add a little bit to your product. That people want to have a product in a nice container that they maybe want to hold on to.
And glass is recyclable. That's the wonderful thing about glass. So there's a lot more. We were talking about psychedelics too. There's a movement down here called Decriminalize Nature, and they are putting all the plants and mushrooms and saying nothing, in the plant or natural world should be made illegal. There's just not a rational argument for the eradication of a plant, and especially with pollinators, especially the honeybees love cannabis, love hemp. And if we're worried about the planet, we need to save the pollinators. It's just, I don't know. It seems like we've lost our mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The mind had been lost, I think, before some of us were born, and we've sort of been walking around in this sort of lost mind, trying to find something sensible. And cannabis in this situation is remarkably sensible. So in my case was so ridiculous was that I was telling people, you must let your grandmother have the cookies. It's like, who needs to be told that?
Yeah, right. And I'm a firm believer whether people want to admit it or not, if they're a cannabis user, they're a cannabis patient, their body is needing, those cannabinoids to balance their system. Whether they think they're using it recreationally, they are getting medical benefit from that. So I believe every user is a medical user.
And you've mentioned the endocannabinoid system and that being integrated with our health. The cannabis prohibition period that we've been experiencing is like a forced attempt to block that system in a way, to starve it.
Yes.
And there's been different examples in prohibition times of the effects, the consequences of blocking the receptors or starving the receptors, and they're not good. The studies that were done on a product called Rimombamant, the funny name, is from France a number of years back. They were looking into, could they use the synthetic cannabinoid blocker to get so people don't eat so much. It could be a wonderful diet drug. So you would, because the munchies, that's a cannabinoid. So they block cannabinoids. People won't want to eat as much. And then they would, fit into the dresses or whatever that they're trying to do. But what ended up happening was that the people in the trial became suicidal. They had suicidal ideation, and it was extremely disturbing. And so they canceled the trial. And this is just a kind of a pinpoint example of what generally prohibition has been doing. It's been preventing us from having one of our most important ancestral medicines, one of our most important plant allies as human beings. It's ridiculous to think that it could be replaced by even the most brilliant chemists when we know it's so integrated into our bodies through this endocannabinoid system. Was more we can learn from paying attention to it than we could ever discover from ignoring it, so
I agree. And I think cannabis has a secret weapon that is just going to dumbfound the scientists, is the entourage effect, where it all works. You can't just take and isolate a small part of it and get it to work like the rest. It all has to work in harmony together. And that's the big mistake that they're trying to do, is they're trying to isolate this, isolate that. It doesn't work that way with cannabis. It's a whole plant therapy.
When I was trying to legalize the cookies, the cookies are the whole plant therapy. They had marinol, which is the THC synthetic, and they said,
Right.
well, you've got marinol, so what do you need the whole plant? And what they found out, even in their own studies, was that having the THC all by itself, it caused more of the negative effects that they didn't want to occur, right? More of the anxiety, more of the rapid heart rate, or things like this, that they were making it worse by enforcing a THC only product on people.
And that's why you need that CBD to help balance out the negatives of the THC.
Indeed. A lot of natural products are so safe because they have natural safeguards built in that prevent you from getting a toxic dose.
Right.
You would get to a point with cannabis and you probably just, you green out, so you're going to probably puke, or you just fall asleep, then you can't eat anymore. It's a natural safety mechanism. And same with a lot of other plants before they've been synthesized. People would pass out or throw up before being able to kill themselves by accident.
Exactly. Because, the plants are here to help us and work with us. Let's give this wheel a spin.
Yeehaw.
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 Yeehaw. Oh, James Tice.
James Tice, show us some love in the comments, my friend.
And you need to tell them what to do in order to get their winnings.
I will once he's in the comments.
Right.
When I see him in the comments, I will tell him.
You will tell him what?
What to do.
Well, you're very good at telling people what to do, aren't you?
I'm sleepy today.
Are you sleepy today?
Yep.
Why are you sleepy today?
There's so much happening right now. There's too much.
Too much.
Usually, Owen, I am very crazy all over the place. This is very out of character for me today.
Well, no worries at all.
We're getting ready to go to CannaFest, and it was kind of a last minute deal to put everything together, and so we're all kind of going blah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple more days. We're going to be down there Friday, and I'm going to use this as a working vacation.
Me too.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, it sounds like you got a wonderful lineup for 420 up there. Really, now, are you going to be a judge in any of this competition going on?
Well, for our particular 420 in Victoria, we don't have a competition. I know some of the other ones do. And when we go up to Kelowna, I don't think there's a contest at that one. But the contests were really a really great part of cannabis culture, and I
Right.
enjoyed participating in like High Times Cups up here and experimenting with dozens of strains in rapid fire. But having worked in a dispensary for many, many years, I reviewed so much cannabis that you sort of develop a little bit of a sensor for really, really good cannabis. And so it's really fun to pick through
Right.
the gold for something that's
Yeah, you would be the one that everybody would want on a panel of judges. I mean, with your background, you know, it would be cool to eventually see like regional cannabis cups, and then semi-regional and whatever, and actually get down to like a national cannabis cup. Uh, that would be really cool if somebody would sponsor something like that.
love that idea. Yeah. There were people doing these to fundraise for my court case
Right.
that was over $140,000 in total. So it was really nice to get that fundraising help from cups and stuff.
So I started a timer. I didn't want to interrupt you guys. Sorry.
No, that's
I
all right.
started a timer. The timer went off, and I spun it again, and then Josh won. So, Josh Estep.
Josh Estep.
Josh Estep.
Josh Estep. All right. Congratulations, Josh. You've got a bottle of beard oil coming. I think did we send him, I thought we sent him one out. No, or we sent him something else out.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe I'm all wrong.
I don't know.
No, it can't be.
Josh, let us know. Friendo.
I think Josh does know what to do, so.
I'm too tired to think, Josh.
Too tired to think.
Let us know. I know he's here because I just saw him. So I was looking at the comments, and
yes,
it only posted to one place. But it's Josh commented, he gone.
Yeah, right, I saw that.
Tice.
Oh, hi, Lexi.
Mom said that he won beard oil.
Cindy.
So. Oh my goodness, there's just so much happening.
Well, all right, Josh, we're going to get to you.
Just send you stuff.
Yeah.
Give us the address. We'll send you something. If you're not careful, they might send you me in a box. So.
Oh, you don't want that. Reject it. All right. You know what our next hashtag's going to be? Hey, Leaf Cycle, namaste. Our next hashtag is Grow Fam for Life.
Yes.
Because you know what? Amazing. Not only family of growers, but as a growing family. We're fairly new to Grow Fam. We've only been around, started to meet you guys a couple months ago, and have been welcomed with open arms. Can't wait to see a bunch of you in Kansas City.
That's what I was trying to tell you earlier. I said, even though the Grow Fam group has went away, why are you so close to me? Why?
I'm listening intently to you.
I feel like Grow Fam's more of a concept. Conception.
You better not.
No,
no grandchildren. I can wait. We can put that off. That is fine.
I'm not ready for babies. Don't worry, buddy.
No,
you're all good.
No.
It's all Gucci Mane.
Not happening. Yes.
But yeah.
What?
I feel like concept. Hater.
No,
so
I don't.
I'm kind of curious about something.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we talked a bit about psychedelics and edibles. Like what I mentioned a little bit, me getting really, really high. I've gotten all kinds of weirdly high from edibles. Things like listening to music, but then seeing the music come out of the speakers. Um, Things like having my eyes closed, but seeing around my room. It's really strange and bizarre effects from eating edibles.
Now, I'm just curious. I mean, you must be eating some really high. Like, is that like a gram or more edible?
Um, it's hard to tell sometimes with these cookies and stuff. Tends to be some are stronger than others. But I was certainly, trying to get stronger, trying to experiment with how much you could enjoy an edible for recreational purposes.
Well, I've heard.
You're a robot again.
Oh no. Robot.
Oh no.
Exterminate.
See, this is why
Yes.
I am our producer. Produce.
I thought you were the talent.
I am the talent, but then also I got conned into being the producer too.
Who conned you?
You.
I have never conned anybody about anything.
You conned me.
No, I exploited you. There's a difference.
Oh, okay.
So,
sure. All right.
And you're happy about that.
Am I still Android?
No, you're good now.
Now you're good. Now you're good.
Well, I gotta say, guys, this has been really lovely. I've really enjoyed hanging out. It is 6:00 for me, and I'm feeling hungry.
Right on.
Awesome.
Owen, namaste. You're a beautiful person. Thank you again for taking your time. You got to keep me up to date on what's going on and how things are going, because you are a phenomenal individual. There's so much that you're man, you are just helping so many people and so many different things in so many ways. It's just a blessing to be able to have you on.
It's been really, really lovely to meet you both and just share this lovely time. Such a cool show and a nice community all here. So thanks. It's an honor to be a part of it.
Namaste, my friend. Have a great evening and get yourself something to eat.
Thank you.
Okay.
So long.
Bye-bye.
Well, now, buddy, it's just you and me.
Bring it on. Oh, yes. She wouldn't have even seen it coming. I'll tell you what. Owen is just an amazing person. Very fortunate to have him on our show. Next Monday, we're going to have Misty Green, who is a doctor of chiropractic, and she has integrated cannabis into therapy with her patients. Mm-hmm. So be sure to check us out when Misty's going to be on. She's got a great personality, mm-hmm. A lot of energy. She's going to have a lot of information that I think you guys are going to dig.
As long as your head doesn't explode by then.
Why?
Because of all the stress.
Yeah. Well, I am working on my prescription for de-stressing.
You want to do some de-stressing with me tonight? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Maybe.
Well, wait, you have to work in the morning.
Yes, I do. Remember, I am back to working.
Yes, I'm sorry. Well, tomorrow's my day off. That's why I was wink, wink, nudge, nudging you.
Unfortunately, no. After this, it will be Betty Bye. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm getting up in the 5:30, 6 o'clock range.
Oh, so the time I'm supposed to get up.
Pretty much is when I'm going to be coming through to get my coffee. So, yeah, it sucks. got to get things rolling. This job will go through June, so we'll see in June if I need to look for another contract.
Oh, now you're feeling what I've been feeling while you've been off.
I'm not even sure I followed that kind of sort of train of thought.
The pain.
yeah. I've enjoyed doing what I can, working on the company and stuff. So I took the winter off, but well, we'll see what happens. I'll tell you what. While everybody's getting in, this is for a Grow Fan box, and remember, if we get 50 hashtags, 50 hashtags, 50
hashtags,
we will be giving away a 3-bottle set of Euphoria Eats sauces. The hot sauce, which is some of the best hot sauce I've ever had.
Yes.
The glaze, which is delicious, and the barbecue sauce, which is just absolutely amazing. I love barbecue sauce, and this is some of the best infused or not infused barbecue sauce.
I will say, I do see where a couple people have went to bed, so I'm going to set a little timer.
Okay, timer.
And we will spin the wheel whenever the timer goes off. And also, Mr. Burns said that was an excellent guest on the program.
Mr. Burns, thank you very much. We're trying to bring people from all across the industry to be a guest on. I learned so much from some of these brilliant people. But thank you very much. Tell you what, why don't we play the last song from Roots of Creation, Friend of the Devil, and we'll come back and spin the wheel and call it a night.
I can dig that.
So 50 hashtags, and we're going to give away some Euphoria Eats sauce.
From Reno, I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep last night till the morning came around. Said I'm running, but I take my time. Friend with the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight. Just might get some sleep tonight. Ran into the devil, baby, loan me 20 bills. Spent the night in Utah in a cave up in the hills. Said I'll run him, but I take my time. Friend with the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight. Just might get some sleep tonight. Ran into the lefty, but the devil called me there. My $20 bill vanished in the air. Said I'll run him, but I take my time. Friend with the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight. Just might get some sleep tonight. Why I cry away each lonely night. First one's named Sweet Emery. She she's my heart's life. Second one is prison, baby. Sheriff's on my trail. And if he catches up to me, I'll spend my life in jail. First one says she got my child, but it don't look like me. Said I'm running, but it take my time. Friend with the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
Yes. Are we back?
Yeah, we've been back for a second.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Jonathan, Michael, Cindy, namaste. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. All right. That was Roots of Creation with Friends of the Devil. Check them out. Great band. They are available on all platforms. They've got a new album out, and we may be exploring some of that music later in future shows. But really kind of wanted to give a shout out and a salute to the 5th year anniversary of Grateful Dub. Great band. Follow, listen. I'm sorry. I've been a fan for a long time of them.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm just sleepy.
You're just sleepy.
Also, speaking of numbers, it was said earlier in the comments that this is the 3rd annual Missouri CannaFest.
3rd annual, second legal.
I saw that earlier.
Or is this the 3rd and first legal?
No.
I think this is the first legal, the first open.
I don't know.
Adult rec. It is, so.
I don't know.
No, you don't know.
Don't ask me. Don't look at me.
We're looking forward to it. And remember, keep some Master Roachee CBD oil on hand. in case, for yourself, for your friends, if your high gets out of hand, we're here to help you manage your high. We want everybody, don't we, to enjoy what? Their experience.
Yes.
We do. Whether it's medical, recreational, we want everybody to enjoy their experience, but we do want you to enjoy it safely, responsibly.
Mom said, yeah, mom and Josh both said third first legal.
That's what I thought.
I said, I don't know. You know what I heard?
What did you hear?
I heard.
Hard to tell what you heard.
I heard if you put a half a dropper of Ambrosia Nights by Master Roachee underneath your tongue right before you go to bed.
Yes.
There will be $1 under your pillow when you wake up in the morning.
You can't be telling people that. No,
that's what I heard.
Do not be listening to her. No,
that's what I heard.
You put a half a dropper of Ambrosia Nights under your tongue. Make sure between a half a dropper and a full dropper. Half a dropper. Make sure you have a good 6 hours to develop.
Okay.
For sleep.
So half a dropper is 50 cents and the full dropper is $1 under your pillow in the morning.
Right. No, it doesn't happen. Do not believe her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I'll tell you what. Why don't you just spin the wheel before you get people more confused here.
I was just telling you what I heard. Good golly. Good golly.
Good golly.
Tony Ashlet.
Hey, Tony.
He's here. I just saw him. Just comment again to let me know you're here again. But you won our Grow Fan box tonight, my dude. And if you remember, Tony Ashlet is new here.
All right. Way to come in, Tony. Hey, you know what? It pays to be new here. So congratulations, Caitlin. Tell Tony what he needs to do.
Tony, you need to private message Master Roachee, the Master Roachee Facebook page, with your address. Ash Kettle. I said Ashlet. Yes, Ash Kettle. I told you I'm tired. Lo siento, mi amigo. I'm very tired. Just make sure you private message Master Roachee, your address, and we will get you your Grow Fan box, my dude.
Yep, yeah, and we'll connect everything up with you.
Yes.
So do get that in for me to forward.
Hello, Nicole.
Nicole,
sorry
namaste.
That you're coming in right at the end, but it's good to see you, baby.
Yeah. And speaking of the end, would you like to say goodnight, Kate?
Yes, it's been wonderful, fam, but I must adjourn now.
And as always, peace, love, and good vibes, my friends. Have an amazing night. Namaste, greetings, and good vibes. Master Roachee from Master Roachee's Garden. And if you're not hearing,
your beard looks amazing,
then you're not using Master Roachee's Garden beard oil. Nag Champa and Oak Moss Amber. Check us out at masterroacheesgarden.com. Namaste.